Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Animator versus Animation dhunHERO Director's Commentary. At least, if that's what I call it. Um, I was planning to do this for a while after the animation was finished because I made a video on my channel about reacting to the original animation. So I thought I should do it here as well. So I premiered this video, and I sent this to all my friends, and some of them showed up, and so it's good. We had a good time in the live chat, as you can see, and this is actually like as of the recording of this video, the only video I posted in 2024, in the main channel, and the first one in a long time. The last one was dhunTalks episode 9 in December, in December 2023, the Go Animate episode. So yeah, I've been chipping at this for a while. I don't even want to. Well, I guess I can talk about it. I was gonna say I didn't want to talk about how long this took, but yeah, if you scroll through my channel's history, especially in the Dune Legacy playlist, you'll see that the first scene was first conceptualized. It was first conceptualized a year after release, I think, of the original animation, where I felt like I did better and I could improve my animation skills, and some of the remnants of that 2018 animation are still here, including my old laptop. I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, I've just been taking a lot of breaks working on other projects, and that's why this took so long. Anyways, let's get started. Alright, let's pause real quick. I'm going to be giving commentary. Yeah, I was pretty much feeling like a genius when I found out the dhunHERO logo can do that. This is one of the later things I did. The intro and credits I did during the latter half of the production. Not necessarily at the end, but just later, because I thought, okay, I have time, I might as well do it since I have an idea. So the stick figure, the dhunHERO logo turning into the stick figure was one of my ideas, and it turned out pretty good, especially when I added the sound design later. Okay, this is one of the moments I was lazy. So one of my main goals with this project was basically to remove all the stupid stuff from the original animation, and I know it has its charm because of these things, but I wanted to remove the stupid jokes, the stupid plot armor, like the random powers that they had, that was done because I was lazy. And I think I did that. However, I did rush some parts of the animation, like this intro sequence. It was originally going to be all of the stick figures drawing out the intro, but then I just had the cursor come in and type it using the text box that I made for the first scene. As you can see, it's the Adobe Animate text box with its little icons in the corners. And I didn't even properly animate the text box because it moves. Like it resizes, but it's fine. It's fine. I was pretty proud of this when I recorded the sound and it came out well. Anyways, yeah, this was not an idea I had for the first half of production. Later, I had the idea to just make live action shots to sort of tie everything together, like why the animator leaves and everything, or just to introduce the animation. So I still have my old laptop. I pulled it out specifically for the shot. These are just screenshots that I took from Premiere and just put it in here. If you can look on the right, it's actually where my current laptop resides. Like I went through like 3 devices. Like first I started making the animation on this laptop. Then I switched to an iMac for like 5 years. And then I finished it on my new laptop, which is an Asus VivoBook. I don't think any of you have seen it. But yeah, you can see like the desktop and in the recordings for dhunTalks Go Animate episode. You can also see the Mac, so because it was in the middle of, I was using that in the first run of that production because I canceled it midway through. So this laptop's really old. I think it's like 10 years old now. Or 11. There's like a scratch pad, not a trackpad scratch over there. It's actually happening on my new laptop too for whatever reason. I brought out my Wacom. I brought out my mouse pad. I actually flipped it upside down because it has a design on it and like my old character, and I wanted to keep it just not have a design on it. So I just took my mouse from my new laptop. I put in a Wacom tablet, just hooked everything together for this scene. Working with this laptop was a hassle. Like, it was so slow to start up, and then I had to, the file explorer wouldn't even work. I had to use freaking terminal to, navigate to and open these files, and even that took some time. So I'm very glad to be done with this piece of junk. And also, if you look closely here, you can see my laptop stand and my Huion monitor over there. That's where my laptop actually sits, but I couldn't move it out for this shot, so I just decided to use the other side of the table. And also, in case you're wondering, I did this shot while my parents were gone. It was the perfect opportunity because I did not want to explain to them opening the door to record a shot. By the way, I should speak about the sound design. If you've seen the original previews of this, you'll know that it had different sound effects that I ripped from Alan Becker, but later I decided, I wanted to make original sound effects just to be safe from copyright, in case that's a thing, in case oh, you pirated this sound effect pack or something. So I used ones that I know I have the rights to, with the exception of some YouTube sounds that just claim they're free from copyright. So I was like, okay, sure, their cartoon sounds widely used anyway, so who cares. But yeah, the sound credits are at the end, and I remastered the whole soundscape very late into its production. Actually, this year only I started, and I was feeling pretty good with how I did it because on another project I'm working on, I worked with Adobe Audition to make the sounds, like the sound design, and I was like, oh, I'm feeling like a genius. And I applied some of those skills here in Premiere Pro, and I didn't use Audition because, I need to work with video. And, I feel pretty good. Like, I used effects to, make sound different and all that instead of just plopping sound effects in. I edited the sound effects. I'm, getting closer to a real sound designer now, so which is pretty good. Anyway, this is all old animation, with the exception of that. I needed to make it different that Black, which is his name, I guess, is scared of the cursor because he thinks that it's a threat. And I'll talk about more about this later, but the final conversation was I needed to communicate that, but I didn't know how to until the very last moment. Initially he presses the key, but I learned about oh, you should make this more clear so that it's not just stuff happening randomly. Anyway, yeah, this is Adobe Animate 2018. Rewind. Yeah, this is Adobe Animate 2018. I don't even use all those panels that I added, like Queasy Tools, Layer Depth. I don't use much of that stuff. Yeah, so I still used Adobe Animate. I actually tried switching to Harmony for the latter half of this production, but then I was like, screw it, I don't want to bother. And now I'm learning Blender, and if you see the previous video posted on this channel, the Rohan J channel, I posted a test I made of a VOD in Blender. So, if I ever make something in the future using that, I might as well, because, I don't like Adobe Animate anymore. I'm trying to switch away from it. Tried to make these poses more clear. Also, yeah, I improved the camera movement on that slow motion and made it more clear, and the sound design, I'm really proud of it too. I just took a wind sound effect and slowed down I didn't even slow it down, I just made the pitch lower and then go higher and then just put some whoosh sound and then just made reverb and slowed down the other sound effects. I feel like a freaking genius. I redid that as well. Okay, this thing, if you saw the initial preview, it just, becomes bigger as it comes down, but I decided later, really late on, that I wanted to make the animator properly, like, scale it up, because this always bothered me that it just became bigger as soon as it came down. I also noticed that in the original animation, when the animator tries to draw, like, I think a weight or something to just crush the stick figure, it just doesn't even move. This one, at least this one moves, so I could just do a sick kick. And yeah, this could also be to serve the, to set up the transform tool in the final minutes of this animation. I'm assuming you watched it already. Anyways, yeah, that sound design was also really good. I'm really proud of it as well. And I think I remastered the slow motion, so it just isn't just a tweening between two things, but it's an ease out and in, with those sorts of things and all of that. It's hard to explain if you don't know animation. Also, it's hard for me to explain things in general, but yeah, I changed a lot of stuff early on just to make it look better. Also, that's some sick head acrobats he's doing. Like he's supported by his head. Anyway, yeah, also these lines, oops. These lines were, I think they were there, then they weren't, and then I placed some yellow thing on it where I just reused the animation from dhunHERO episode 9 where he kicks Driss out of the building. I used that same thing here, but then it didn't fit, so I just made some cartoony lines. This was one of the animations I'm not sure how I did. I did it early on, like I was literally, I think, 12 or 13 when I made this, and that still looks good. I don't know how. So is this. Also, by the way, I never planned for that icon to be plot relevant. I just was like, oh, okay, what do I need? Oh, I need a reason for the stick figures to gain their powers. And I was like, oh, found it. What if the orb looks magical? The Canon inkjet printer orb. Might as well have that be the source of the power, because I wanted them to have a cool fight, but not without like just a random power-up reason. Also, by the way, before you ask me, I don't know what these icons are. I don't know what this one means. I don't know if I just pirated random stuff or something. In case you're wondering, I have Toon Boom Animate here because I pirated it once a long while back just to see how it worked, because it was basically Harmony but without all of the advanced features, so I just wanted to experiment with it while I still could. It's fine, it's old software, no longer available. I don't even use it anymore. It's fine. I'm good. I don't know why it's here. Oh, it's a Canon IJ network tool. I don't know. This taskbar initially had like a lot of stuff on it, but I removed it because, it was irrelevant. It contained old projects and all that. Also, yeah, I made that animation better of the animator ripping out the Cortana icon from the taskbar. That metal shine, I'm not sure if I made the right call in putting that in, but like, whatever. I wanted to make an animation for the icon. Yeah, later I pixelated the Windows icon because I learned how to do that, and I was like, oh, finally! Like, Animate has this feature where you can just convert anything to a bitmap, so I was able to use that for all these texts to make it blend in. I was like, hell yeah, I don't need to make some I don't need to make vector text that looks off next to all those Windows menus. Anyways, yeah, this alt tab menu contained a lot more stuff, but it contained secrets and the Discord information. I was like, okay, screw it, I don't want to put that in. Anyways, yeah, one of also the things I pride myself on is that, like, the taskbar doesn't change repeatedly. Also, in case you know, also, this is one of the shots where I forgot to change the date on the clock. So now you know when I took the screenshot of the desktop. My bad. But yeah, in all other shots where it's visible, I changed the date and I think the time as well. It wasn't my intention, but the animator looks like he's drawing blue more carefully. Oh yeah. I reanimated this because like doing it frame by frame looked very jittery. I also fixed the cursor being not the right color. Oh yeah, here, look. I changed the date here. Like, it says 11:07 a.m., but it says 9/28/2024. Also, my cousin was saying that, you know, it's hard to see blue against the backdrop, and I guess he's right. I guess I could put a shadow. And what I'm really proud of, those, when Black, like, does that, he, like, dusks his hands. Those are sounds of my own hands. I don't know if I recorded them right now or... Oh my god, there's background noise. I don't know if I recorded them now or just had them, like... Oh my god. Okay, older. Like, I don't know if there are older sound effects I recorded in 2018. One second. Okay, some dogs barking or something. I don't know. They're doing some random stuff and some religious thing. Anyways, let's continue. Initially, I had him look around, like look left and right, but I was like, okay, that's pointless. What is he doing that for? So I removed it. He tries to get blue on his side, but then it doesn't work. I didn't pay that much attention to the plot of this, like, cause like I just wanted to, you know, fix the animation, the laziness, but not like, you know, make the plot good. Also, I was working on this since I was literally like 12, so I didn't know anything about a good plot, but I'm not remastering this again. So, you know, if people are like, oh, why, if he thought he was an enemy, you know, why did he do all this evil stuff? I'm like, why does he look evil? And I was like, I don't know, because I want to see cool stick figures fight. Maybe next time, if there is one. So he tries to do a fake out like the Dark Lord to the Chosen One in Animator vs. Animation 7, I believe. That's what it's now called. Anyways, I remastered this punch animation. It looks better. And this get up animation. I didn't fix this fight scene though. I just... because I didn't really want to do that. I had extra particles to the shield breaking. It looks good now. And I don't know how I did this good of an animation back then. This looks a little bit weird, but you know, whatever. Oh yeah, those whoosh lines I thought I added because they were cool. I don't know if it is, but you know, whatever. Even this looks weird. Also, that boing sound, yeah, when the moment I found it, I was like, ooh, I can bring in the cartooniness because I'm using cartoon sound effects, so I might as well put in cartoon jump sounds. Oh my god, the dogs won't let up. They bark at anyone who's walking down. Anyway, yeah, I had a refresh moment. Just like the original animation. Oh my god, if he's evil, if he's not evil, why is he mad? Okay, I fixed this a little bit. But this still looks a bit weird. I fixed this a little bit, but it still looks weird. Anyways, this is the part that was not in the preview. Yeah, so I tried to make the text in McCafe blend in. I think I used the same exact screenshot I used in the original animation because I couldn't find a newer one that was also clean. So I was like, okay. Also, it says an Intel company. Does Intel still own them? I don't know. This stick figure is called McCafe. Contrary to live chat, he is not red or maroon. He's McCafe or just antivirus. Ooh, look at that. I actually did this later on, but I added like some motion blur thing. Look at this. I was like, oh, look at all these animes and stick figure productions doing these motion blur. Look at me, I'm so cool. Well, it's a start. I don't know why I made him do this, but you know, it's a cool thing, I guess, if it's expanded upon. Delete us. He kicks the cannon out. That was also not like foreshadowing, but I made it foreshadowing. Retroactive foreshadowing. Initially this looked very, very different. It was going to be more tame. Like, it was just like speed lines or something, but you know, I just changed it because I thought the motion blur looked better, especially after seeing Animator versus Animation 10, the victim fight with the Chosen One, how he, you know, swirls around, like rotates around the screen, like the stage, the box. Also, here's where I really looked for sound effects. I changed how this energy ball looked. It was going to be more pink, but since a McCafe was originally black, like the original animation, but I changed it to be more maroon because, you know, evil, you know, the color of McCafe, I wanted it to be more distinct. And then I changed this energy ball to red, and I made it look better. Initially, this camera shake was worse too, but I made it better. I really like the sound effects I used here. Anyways, I think if you see, you can barely see it. Oh yeah, I added this live action shot too. Because I needed a reason for the animator to leave. And then one of my friends, he's in the credits for extra assistance. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he told me that I should probably just have the animator get like food or something, or at least ring the doorbell. That's the reason that he leaves. So I need to pinpoint an exact place for him to leave. This wasn't planned from the start. I just did this afterwards. And that is my school bag, yes. I actually recorded those shots a few days apart. All the door shots were recorded in one day. I don't know why my camera is grainy. I used an iPhone 11. It bothers the hell out of me, but you know, whatever. And that thinking shot, like the one where he leaves to answer the door or something, I shot that a few days after because he told me what to do. Oh yeah, look. I changed the clock to 11:11 because a few minutes have passed. But I don't think I did it on every shot because it says 11:07 in the previous one, so you know, it's whatever. I missed a few things. It was a very short conflict, but you know, I'm fine with the animation. Ooh boy, I like that sound effect of the rocket. I drew it poorly because, you know, I'm not gonna draw a good looking rocket. And also that drawing animation was horrible, but you know, I don't care. I didn't want to make it look good. Took too long. And that orchestral hit, I didn't even know it was a thing until like Driss told me. I asked what the sound was that was used in some cat video, and then he was like, "Oh, that's an orchestral hit," and I downloaded a few and I used them here. Ooh, look at me using cartoon sound effects, and ooh, look at that. Anyways, here is the explosion. I think I spent a long time making the impact thing. It still looks a bit wonky, but you know, whatever. Look at this. These things are supposed to be from Smash Brothers, like the smoky, the trail, the smoke trail over here. It's supposed to be like from Smash Brothers. Anyways, this explosion is the one I made for this animation, but I reused it in dhunHERO 7. And then that technically came out before this. Anyways, here's the part where I'm like, okay, I need to trap this guy inside a water box. And thanks to the sound design, I made it more clear. Also, I didn't have like random powers like, oh, look at this, he'll draw something. Like he'll just use green orb powers to draw using his hands, or you know, I don't know, some like just form the rectangle tool just like that. He needs to make it like I did a better thing, which is just throw the rectangle and it will just summon it. And I like the sound I made for it as well. It's a custom made sound. And thanks to the sound design, I made it more clear. It was a water box unlike the original one. And yeah, he sets the color too because it was black and black, and I wanted to make it accurate, just not have it be blue for some random reason. Also, black looks too short here, but I forgot to fix that. Or I think I didn't care. I noticed it several times. There it is again. I made it look more like a cannon. Someone in the original animation called the cannon a baby bottle. Anyways, I think this looked cool. Oh no, look at these seams. Oh no. Anyways, I like this disintegration. I think I spent a while on it. Like I had to mask it and everything. I like the ambience. I made water sounds. I think this was either 2022 or 2023. I wanted to make better fight scenes. Oh boy. I don't know why he freaking stabs him, but like, you know, it's whatever, man. It's not harmful. Hopefully. Oh, look at me with my cartoon sound effects. Anyways, he doesn't clap his hands to the canvas, he actually draws it. That's random, but you know, whatever. I think it's better than the original. Why is he surprised? Okay, well, I don't know, man. Maybe he wanted gloves and instead got sentient hands. Yeah, I was planning out this scene to be like, oh, look, attack the other person, and Black will do finger guns, Blue will keep pointing, and then the hands will be confused, and it'll get slower. I was like, bringing a little bit of the comedy thing, because I thought I was like, oh, I'm being too serious. Yeah, I really like this one. These hands are, by the way, like traced off of some internet pictures. I didn't use my own hands as a reference, but like, It's fine. It's fine. Hopefully. I didn't want to draw hands myself. I wasn't good at drawing hands back then too. Otherwise, I would have done that. But yeah. I made sure to make this fight longer and better, and I think I did it. I don't want to set too high expectations for myself. I think this was this year, I'm not sure. And camera shake is really good. And my sound isn't, oh my god, I'm so proud of it. That doesn't make sense, but you know, it looks cool. It's fine. But look at how in ruins the place is. That's another live action shot I took. Ah, yes, that's the first time anyone's ever thrown anyone in this animation, just like the original one. I like that sound. I think the cursor has a little bit of metal to it. Oh yeah, that sound effect is of my Nintendo Switch clicking the Joy-Con in. Let's go! I found some good uses for it. I was like, oh, I wanted a clicky sound, and no better than the Nintendo Switch. And yes, I finally got to do this idea justice. In the original one, he just summons the other stick figures. But here, I made him actually draw them. Let's go. And I did a clever trick where he only draws one stick figure and like one leg of green, but just have it be off screen so I won't have to, you know, spend time and pain doing it. Like doing all the animations on screen. Here's where I decided I wanted to make an actual fight scene, like between multiple people, but I was like, then, you know, I think it's too short, personally, but, you know, whatever, I tried. And I really use the camera in these scenes. He comes back to the disaster. In case it's not clear what's going on, the animator is supposed to be like, oh, you drew more stick figures? How could you? I was already having a problem dealing with one, and now you made more? So he's like kind of mad, and Boo is just like, ah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I just need to get him. I just realized some of these pieces are blurred when some of them are, you know, sharp. Like this, the pixels, you can see the pixels, but this one's like, you know, smoothed out. I think this is I did the following fight scene. A lot of it I did in school because I was like, I brought my tablet and I had the motivation to do it. And I was like, okay, I want a proper final battle this time. None of that, like, you know, just randomly powering up and just beating the crap out of Black immediately. It wasn't like, and I wanted music. Initially, I was going to go for Velocity by Overseer, but Velocity Shift by Overseer, but didn't, you know, copyright. It's owned by Sony, so I decided to go for Destructoid MK2, which is in the YouTube sound library, which was also used in Roblox Flood Escape. So, yeah. But yeah, I was bored a lot in school during. And I think one time I brought my. I think it's because one time I brought my tablet because I had like no classes for most of the day, so So I was like, okay, I might as well get some work done, and I got into a cool swing. Anyways, here's when I was like, okay, let's go. Let's make the inkjet printer thing, the cannon thing that gives him powers. Oh crap. Initially, initially the way I planned this fight. Oh, so it says 11:18 on the corner clock. Let's go. Initially, the way I planned this fight was, you know, red would get powered up, and then black would get powered up, and then, you know, the fight would happen. But then later I realized, okay, wait, that's a stupid thing to do. It should be first the odds against them, and then, you know, well, maybe it's not a stupid thing to do, but maybe the fight was dragged out longer. Maybe red could be the first one to power because, like, oh, finally I have an advantage, and but then like black goes like, no, I have the advantage now. But then I swapped it because I was like, okay, I think that would make for better tension or something. And it also serves as the return of powered up red. Initially I was wondering what color to make powered up black. It was initially going to be like the same color but just glowy, but Adobe Animate I can't do that, especially with this VCam, because it doesn't support advanced effects, and I didn't want to deal with Adobe Animate's bullcrap, so I decided to just make him gray. I choreographed this whole fight before. Like, I didn't use animatics throughout the whole time. I didn't use animatics throughout the whole animation, but this is the first time I used them to plan out the whole animation, and then I just did it. Also, this start menu, I didn't have Windows 10 on my laptop anymore, and I can't downgrade from it to remove all this stuff. So what I did, one of my friends who was again extra assistance in the credits, he helped me. Like, he said I should set up a VM, and, you know, of Windows 10. And I did that. It locks personalization features, so I just used some hack to make it to unlock the personalization settings, set it to the exact same color orange, and just screenshotted the start menu and all of the things inside of it, and then stitched them together and masked it to make this thing, this cool thing. Initially I was thinking that, like, you know, red could be like a little broken here, like he has parts chipping off of him, but I decided, nah, I don't want to. I already spent this long on this animation, I don't want to spend more. This is fine enough. Oh yeah, some of these things I wanted to do for a while. Initially also what I wanted to do was have him, like, you know, get knocked out of the toolbar, and then the rectangle and the line tool would be there, and then he'll make a giant hammer. Or, like, you know, if they had, and both of them had laser arms, they would do a laser fight, like whose laser is more powerful or something, like those fights, I don't know what to call them. But I decided to just go with punches and throws and using the UI because I don't want to drag this out for too long. He was always going to get, like, beaten up the same way he did in the original animation, but just cooler. It sounds a little off, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, the box is not supposed to rotate like that, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time making the box rotate. In addition to this scene, like, when he gets punched, initially I was going to have the transform tool, like, be there all the time. But then I was like, okay, no, I have to do a lot of adjusting. So I just made the blue square from the original animation. That only appears when you try to select an object, not a symbol, but whatever. Like using this object. I did this originally how I envisioned it to work in the original animation. Maybe not exactly, but, like, you know, I got close. Oh, and this lens flare, I didn't make it from scratch. I just repurposed an old one that I made. I think you'll see it earlier in this channel. It's the one from the old dhunHERO intro, the one that was in development. So I just copy and pasted that. Now, I don't know what you did that for, but now he's weakened. After this fight, I think I spent a lot of time like pause, like, okay, what do I do now? And then I just did the sound design because I didn't want to do the last scene. But this is the last scene, and I did it in 2 days, not even joking. I'm so proud of myself for that because I was like, okay, I need to finish this. So I was like, I planned it out. I just put the key poses because I know that I did put your finger on the screen, that animation. I planned it out first and then did the in-betweens afterwards, which enabled me to work on it way faster because, I don't know, I may have ADHD or something. But yeah, I dedicated a lot of time to it. I made the whole thing, like the whole layout in 1 day because I wanted to make the scene fairly short. And then I just finished it the next day. Like I found some tricks and finished it faster. And then the same day, I finished the whole animation. I finished the final sound design because, most of it was done. I just needed to finish it up a few times. I proof watched, I fixed things, and I published the trailer and set the premiere. I didn't actually want to publish the trailer. Like, I made the trailer a while back, I think a month or two ago, but I didn't want to publish it until I was sure of when the release date was. So when I finished this scene, I was like, okay, I'm sure I'm finishing it on this date. But then by the time I was finished, I was like, I'm basically done. Anyways, I wasn't exactly sure how to do this scene. Initially, it was like, okay, he just begs for forgiveness and like explains everything that happened through either actions or maybe text boxes. I was thinking of not doing text boxes because, I like them not having to speak because that was just convenient. Like the original animation, it was treated like a joke. But here I was like, okay, you know what? In order to properly explain this, I can't explain it using pictures. I'll just do the thing Alan Becker did in Rivers Animation 4, where he just traps him in a box and interrogates him. And then I made some cool, funny dialogue out of it. His arm goes out of the box a little bit, but it's fine. I was wondering if I made this dialogue too fast, because sometimes, like, to make these typing text in Adobe Animate, you have to take the whole text and just delete characters one by one, and I didn't want to do all that. So after like a few times deleting the first characters, I just started deleting 2 or 3 at once, which is why this typing is quite fast in these long paragraphs. Also, yes, the font size. Usually the text boxes adapt to the size of the text like this, but not shipped. So I was just like, okay, you know what? No one's gonna care about this insane attention to detail. I'm just gonna put in as much as I want to, like these texts, like the blinking cursor and the blue, the highlights, and then here it's just the square because I didn't want to animate it moving. I just wanted to finish this, which is weirdly enough how the original animation ended as well, because I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to spend more time on this, and I rushed the ending. I guess like clockwork, I did the same thing here, but it's fine. It's better. I think it's a better end product. I planned it out beforehand, unlike that animation. So yeah, the text might be fast, but I asked some people and they were like, no, it's fine. I also added this text later because, I thought like, okay, maybe they didn't understand what he meant. I was wondering if the staging on this scene was like, weird because the text is on top and the text box is on the bottom and where the viewer is supposed to look. But, they said, Andres said he loved the dialogue, so, I'm not concerned. Yeah, he just beat the crap out of him. How is he supposed to fist bump him now? I was wondering how the animation should end, just a high five or a jump, and I did both. And yeah, that's it. And yeah, these credits were done earlier. I changed it a few of the times, but like, most of it was done beforehand. And And yeah, this animation's name was changed from Animator vs. Animation Fan-Made Remaster to Animator vs. Animation dhunHERO Remaster to just Animator vs. Animation dhunHERO, because I have no intention of changing the original title of the original animation to make this seem more like a reboot, like the definitive version. I actually didn't know this, but the second coming is not supposed to have feet. My bad. Anyways, yeah, these are the things I use. Last time I forgot to credit the music, so at least I remember to do that here. Anyways, yeah, I did use a camera script by an animator named Shuriken. He works for Alan Becker now, but he made this awesome camera script. Not the second one, the first one that he made. It was simple, and I used it because I didn't want to change my brush sizes or use the Adobe Animate built-in camera, that sort of thing. It was worth it. It had some nice camera shake options. I was debating on what to reference the original animation as. So I was wondering Animator vs. Animation dhunHERO Original, or Animator vs. Animation Fan-Made, or Animator vs. Animation dhunHERO 2017. And originally I asked some people, and they were like, okay, just set it as original. That's sort of like the white stick figure from the original intro and credits of the first animation. Anyways, I was considering for like the longest time to bring back the yeah boy thing. Like, oh, let's like I was gonna have like a scene where like, okay, what like some post-credit scene where they would go like, okay, what now? And then Black goes like, let's do some fun stuff, and Blue goes, yeah boy, and just catapults himself across the screen. I don't know, funny. But then when I finished this animation on the final day, I was asking Driss like, should I still do this? I mean, I was hoping for a no, because I didn't want to do that, because then it would take an extra day or two to do that and to sound design that as well. But then he was like, nah, don't do that, it's cringe now. And I was like, okay, sure. Also made it slightly more serious, but you know, whatever, it's fine. Videos recommended for you. I brought that thing back from the original animation because I don't know what it meant back then, but you know, whatever. I did the same thing here and made it look a little bit better. And yeah, this is the Avad collection, by the way. It contains my original animation, the remastered animation, and also a never before seen. Okay, well, I guess you have seen it before if you are a friend of mine, the scratch version of Avad, called Animator vs. Animation, or Animation vs. Animator, my version. Also, yeah, by the way, I prided myself on making the thumbnail look good. This one was a look at that, the text is obscured, and there's blue in the corner, and this was made in Microsoft Paint. But I finished like that. The thumbnail for the trailer I did a long time ago, but then Driss was I showed it to Driss, and he was like, okay, well, it looks too professional. Like, well, like as in like, okay, the windows and the cursor is clean, but the stick figures' heads are like, you know, messy. And I was like, oh, I want to keep it that way. It makes them iconic. But then also, for a main thumbnail, I noticed Alan Becker doesn't do the professional posters, but rather just makes the characters on a 2D plane. So I just modeled the animation thumbnail after that and set the trailer thumbnail to what I made years ago, the one with the clean window, and just added the text trailer on top of it. And that new thumbnail is one I made on the final day, just like I think in 10 minutes. It wasn't that hard. Also, by the way, this is technically never before seen because it contains content not uploaded to Scratch, and I don't intend to, otherwise it'll update the dates and all that. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. I don't know when I'll upload again on the main channel. Let's see, it's a unique project that you haven't seen before. I've told some people about it, but not everyone. So hopefully you'll see it when you do. School is on me right now, so no guarantees. That's why I didn't upload for a long time, but I have been uploading to this channel, so if you subscribe you'll get to see a lot more stuff. Anyways, yeah, I don't know how to close this out, so see ya. Thank you for watching. Okay, wait. One more thing before I leave. So one more thing that I was fascinated by was this video's performance. So this is the first video I uploaded in a long while, and I had a trailer for it that was doing decently well because, it's stick figure content, so I know that stuff gets the views. Like Put Your Finger on the Screen is now at 2,000 views or something at this point. So I knew that would get sort of views, but then like this one had a lot of views within like the first day, and then it slowed down. But I was like pretty surprised to know that it's getting a lot of views in this time, and then like after like in like the next morning I got 1,000 views, and I'm suspecting it's because I thought either it's because of the premiere, because the trailer led to the premiere, and I had the premiere's trailer set to the trailer that I upload on YouTube. Yeah, so I thought that like I didn't have that many people in the live chat, I don't think, but I checked YouTube analytics, and it says that it's from YouTube recommendations, so I guess it's telling the truth. I guess a lot of people really did come out of nowhere. I don't know why I don't know why it got this many views this fast and then slowed down, but it's whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.